Hey, we are live. Hey, everybody. Let me write my camera off a little bit. Is that clear? Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are in the right spot. They let me fly solo today. It is Alexia, your Coco Mom Evolve, and welcome to a Coco Connect episode. Come on in. We do not own the rights to this music, but we are vibing to Hot Girl Summer. Let me tell you, that was like the title, the theme for me coming into this summer. And I got somebody on with me that knows how to get things a little hot in the kitchen, knows how to bring the flair and the excitement and the poise and all of that greatness in the kitchen. So you don't want to miss it. Come on in. Come on in. Hello, hello, hello to all of you joining us. Hey. Good evening. Good evening. Come on in. Start those watch parties, y'all. This is going to be a great episode, and we want to see you drop those hearts. Go start those watch. I don't know if Facebook still lets you drop watch parties, but if you can, just share the link. Have people come join with us. Come on, y'all. Hey, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. So how's everybody been doing? Let us know how your week's been going. This is an amazing start of the week. It is Black Breastfeeding Week, y'all. Today starts the first day of Black Breastfeeding Week. I myself am so excited, genuinely excited about all the things that are going to be going on with this week. So we have some major experiences that are happening tomorrow. We're going to do another Coco Connect with 5 other moms who either recently finished breastfeeding, used to breastfeed, or still breastfeeding. We got a lot going on. So make sure you tune in right back here, 6 p.m. tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. Now, today, our conversation is going to be a little centered around the fun, the flirty experiences that we have, and you guessed it, in the kitchen. Okay? So can everybody hear me okay? Let me know how everything's going. We should be good to go. So the woman that we have joining us today, the Coco Queen that we have joining us today, give me a thumbs up. I can see you in the background. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Let me know that everything is clear. We should be good to go. Super excited. She has done an amazing turnaround, if you will, in what we formerly knew as our style, we'll say, when it comes to the kitchen. So please, everybody, help me welcome to our virtual stage the CEO and founder of Kitchen-nista, Coco Queen, Rochelle Cook. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, girl, hey.
How are you? Did you like the theme music? Were you feeling the hot girl?
Yes, I'm over here dancing in the background.
Okay. It's definitely been. So that was my theme coming into this summer. It's like, it's going to be a hot girl summer. I was trying to drop these pounds. Since March, I've literally dropped about 50 pounds. But one of the things that I've learned is how to be more intentional in the kitchen. And so one of the other things I learned is that I'm not a big, person in the kitchen, cook. I keep doing the same things most of the time over and over. And so I've been trying to experiment with little things. But one of the things that caught my attention about what you do is the beautiful experience that comes by using what I'm going to allow you to give a little more insight in. While you do that, I'm going to go grab, some pictures and stuff to show everybody, because they're got to see it for themselves. So the ambiance that you bring to the kitchen is just fell heavily on me, and I loved it. And so if you could please say hello to everybody in our Coco community joining, and just introduce yourself and let them know what it is that you do as the Kitchen-nista.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rochelle Cook. I am a food traveler, also known as the Chubby Taster, and the founder and CEO of Kitchen-nista. Kitchen-nista sells custom kitchenware, from graters to pots, pans, knives, and so much more. We have everything online, and we have an online store. You can check it out at www.kitchennista.com. If you ever interested in any of the pictures that Coco Mama's going to show you in a few minutes, or you can feel free to reach out to us directly at info@kitchennista.com.
That is so perfect. And I thank you so much for your intentionality behind it. For those of you who are tuning in, as you may know, if you've been rocking out with us for a little while, there's always like a little bit of a delay. So don't worry, keep stepping with us. Drop your questions, drop your comments in the chat. We will lift them up as soon as we can. And so what we are going to do, like I said, I found out through Instagram. And one of the questions you asked me that I thought was hilarious, you were like, how did you find out about me? And I was like, I don't know. It was like some rabbit hole that I went down. And as I was trying to, again, explore different Black-owned businesses, because it is August, which is Black-owned Business Month. But again, also too, wanting to look for ways that I can kind of spice things up literally and figuratively in the kitchen. So I came across these beautiful pieces that you have. And so the first thing that came to my mind was just like, wow, I've never seen such like cool items in the kitchen. And so as I pull up some of the pieces, I do just want to know, because I have a couple faves. So this first one here, and I decided to go to the website because, what better place? I'm going to share my screen here. And let's see. Give me a minute. All right. Okay. So now we're sharing screen together and we come across this amazing piece. Let me just move my bookmarks out the way so you guys aren't all caught up. So talk about these. What are these fabulous items we're looking at here?
So those are the rolling pins. They're actually mainly everything in our store is multi-use, and it can be used for 2 things, 3 things, depending on the item or more. That's one of our examples. So it comes in a rainbow, rose gold, silver, and it comes in 2 different rainbows. The ones on the left and the right, my left, my right. The blue one and the red is like, I call it the blue rainbow. The one that's mainly red, it's like a red and purple and gold is a red rainbow. And not only could it be used for rolling pastries, biscuit dough. I made some buttermilk biscuits with that. Ooh. And I pound my chicken with it to tenderize the chicken, like when I'm making lemon pepper chicken, like the thin chicken breast.
Okay.
I'll pound it out, and that helps because it's stainless steel, so it's light, but it's also really heavy. Like when you're trying, you can really hurt yourself.
Okay, because I was wondering about that. I was like, those look pretty cool. And I just wondered like the weight of it all, but it looked like it had some good girth to it, some good weight to it. Okay, so that was one of the things that caught my attention. And as I was looking through all the different products and that were offered, and then I just saw kind of like this array of options. And so here was another thing that caught my attention, which was the cheese grater. So talk about these for us a little.
So those also come in different colors too. Everything in the store has a little pop of trendiness to it here and there. So not just the average silver or black, what's trending in other big retail stores. It's more color because I love color. Like I have a colorful kitchen right now. There's no theme. I'm like a colorful rainbow in my kitchen. But those graters are specifically can use for a variety of things. Some people use it to shave down like their shea butter for non-food things. You can be creative with it. I use it for cutting to make like scallop potatoes. It's easier. Shredded hash browns. I shred my Parmesan. Like I had the whole Parmesan cube, and it's actually better. It tastes way better. It's fresh. And I shaved my Parmesan on top of my Parmesan chicken. And nice. I also use it on my veggie dishes too.
So that's awesome, number one. And so I love the cheese grater. I love how it kind of matches with the rolling pin. And then I came across like some of these other fun little things. And so this one caught my eye because, talk about this. I've seen these on like the cooking shows and stuff. Talk about the portable torch.
So it's easy for people who travel, who like, maybe chefs or non-chefs, or, like me. If you want to
Mhm.
make a nice cream brulee, like my aunt, she doesn't cook at all. She can cook, but she don't cook. So
Ah,
if I wanted to come over her house, I know I'm going to cook, and I know she's not going to have the necessary tools that I would probably have to make a meal. So I
uh-huh,
would take that, like portable things that I could fit in my overnight bag, and it wouldn't take a lot of space. Because as you can see, it has like the little handle where
uh-huh.
uh, it attaches to the propane, the mini propane.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
So
I could see the texture.
once that runs out, then you'll always have the other tool on the top end.
That is ingenious. I love that. And of course, gotta go over here because y'all think I'm making this up, right? But look at the design of these whisks, okay? Check this out. You see, same different fun colors that she was talking about. These awesome, I mean, it just even just looks different. So when it came to the design of the whisk specifically, I'm gonna stop sharing here for a minute.
Okay.
When it came to the design of these things, like the rolling pins and the whisk, the cheese graters, you are designing this cookware, right? These are things that you kind of came up with ideals about, and while they may be practical tools in the kitchen that we're familiar with, we're not used to them looking like that.
Yeah.
So we gotta ask the first question, which is how, where, what was your inspiration for starting Kitchenista? Like, where did it come from?
Okay, so my mom, she was a chef, and she was published in all types of articles you could think of, as her catering company was Divine Creations Catering with a K. Creations with a K, catering with a K. And she was posted into the published inside of the Gazette, Washington Post, for her catering business, because she was really big. Like, I would go in the store and people would be like, "Oh yeah, you're the owner of Divine Creations Catering." She's like, "Yeah." She would hold my hand tight because she's like, "Okay, people really starting to know about me. Let me get my kids." But she was like, yeah, she was my main inspiration because she would cook with tools, and like nobody would ever know her food would be amazing. And she was just like, "Oh, it will burn, or it would just not be right for the kitchen." So I'm like, she would just get silver or black. I'm like, "Mom, why you don't get any pop?" She's like, "Popping colors." And she's like, "There's nothing in the store like that." And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just thinking that 10 years later, like, okay, I really want to invent something, not only after learning to be in the kitchen and keep my mom keeping me by her side. Like, when she was cooking, she could not keep me out, eating her, grabbing the cheese from the macaroni and tasting every bit so I can know how to cook it for myself. Then as I got older, I got into the food traveling business after I lost my job in September 2020 due to COVID, or non due to COVID. I don't know, but I know I lost my
Right.
job, and I was like, you know what? I keep losing the jobs because this was like maybe the 10th job that I've lost, and I'm like, it's just not for me. I can't see myself working a 9 to 5. I'm 100% an entrepreneur. I'm not a 9 to 5 type of chick. And from there, I was just, my brother was like, "Bray, reach out to this food vlogger that you know about. Like, he has like a list of foods on there, and see how he got his path." Sat down with this guy for 2 hours, then met my actually food mentor, and went from there and started traveling, going all, he took me all around Florida. I started in Florida and came back to Maryland and started the food traveling business, and then eventually went to New York recently to start it. And yeah, just took off from there. And January of 2021, I started Kitchen-nista, and that's when it began. I started really, Christmas Eve is really when I started like looking into how to create your own kitchen store and online store. January is when it launched, and May is when I did my first vendor event.
So wait a minute. So you launched in January of 2020,
Mm-hmm.
and your
2021.
2021, excuse me, and your first event was this past May 2021.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So in 5 months' time, you launched a brand
Mm-hmm.
and then had an event for the brand.
Yeah.
And this all happened, and it hasn't even been a year since you transitioned from that last job. Now, I don't know if y'all heard her say 10 jobs. Now, this is she's not a good employee, right?
Yeah.
It has just been that sort of transition. And sometimes that's what will happen. Like God will kind of muddy the waters and things like that wherever you are, because you may not be operating in the space that, you know, where your gifts can be best executed. So you decided that entrepreneurial life was for you. And because of your influence of your mom, and I have to lift up one of the things that came up here in the chat, which was this is legacy. That's correct. This is legacy. So your mom was a caterer. She was heavy into it. You said to your mom, hey, why don't you, you know, your food is amazing. Why don't you add a little extra spice to it by bringing it and presenting it in these cool colors and things. And your mom's like, because it don't exist. That's why. And you said, self, I think I can help it exist.
Yeah.
Right? Wow, that's pretty inspiring. And I have to say that is definitely something that we see happening more and more. As a matter of fact, I think it was Black women have created or operate about 48%. I think it was 46 to 48% of businesses have been started by Black women. So we are absolutely commanding in the entrepreneurial space. Hence why we also are one of the ones that, or one of the groups, I should say, populations that are targeted when it comes to things like marketing and advertising, because they know the power, our dollar, number one, and then the power of the influence that we have. So that makes sense. So I heard you talk about the chubby taster piece.
Yes.
So where did that kind of come from? Who coined that name for you?
So the chubby, it's funny. The chubby came from my boyfriend. He calls me when he first met me. He realized like how much I love to eat, how many different foods I love to explore. I never like stay in one lane. I like trying everything. And he was just like, I'm gonna call you Chubby. And I was like, okay. Ever since then, when I go over his friend's house or family, they don't even call me Rachel. They say, hey Chubs, hey Chubby, how you doing? And I'm like, hey. I don't think they really realize where that name came from. And I was just like, okay. My mom was like, what are you gonna make your food traveler name? I always see everybody say their first name Eats or Foodie or something. And I'm like, I don't want that. So you know what? I'm gonna do Chubby Taster because I love to taste different foods, and it's in that realm, and it sounds just what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I love that. So, when people meet me and they see me, like I've been to several restaurants and people invite me out, and they'll be like, so what's your name? And I said Chubby Taster. They're like, Chubby. And I'm like, Chubby Taster, like looking at me like, where's the chubby at? I ordered that whole table of food, a plate. I'm like, they're like, oh, okay, this girl is real. Like, she's the food blogger. They look me up, and then they have a different perception of me. They're like, okay. So I'm like, you know what? I have to wear these shirts more. My Kitchen-nista shirt and my Chubby Taster on the back.
Yeah.
I gotta let them know because people be getting confused. I'm like,
because branding is huge. Branding is so huge. And yes, so people need to understand what it is that you're doing and how you are doing it. So as a food blogger, you said that you've gotten invited to places. So do you oftentimes get these invitations? Do they come at a certain, with a certain request? Like, are you just invited in?
It's different ones, maybe invited in, or they just want, because that's another business where I do photography and videography for restaurant owners, especially new business owners. Like, I take pictures, and that's my expertise. I love videography, and that's probably why my pictures are pretty well on my website.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so there's a little hidden talent in there. You like videography and photography. I myself am too, and I am an enthusiast. Okay, so I do like it. I do have a professional camera that the husband and the kids got me a couple Christmases ago, and so yes, I dabbles in the realm of photography. I always tell people, they're like, "Oh, you're a photographer?" No. I'm an enthusiast. There's a little difference because I'm still learning, but I appreciate that you acknowledge too that helps you, even within your brand and displaying, the different cookware. So from your perspective, and you kind of leaned into this earlier when you were talking about your mom, but how important is it then is having appealing cookware? Because some people may just be like, well, my regular pots and pans are fine. But your cookware has not only the visual appeal, but it has functionality. But when you put the two together, like how important would you say it is to have this stylish cookware?
Yeah. So it's pretty important because I don't like a bland kitchen. Like I just can't do it. I can't do the silver and black. Who loves a bland kitchen? I mean, like some people are very simple. Don't get me wrong, but I love like a little splash of color here and there, of rose gold, because I feel like with certain kitchens, and especially the updated kitchens, it gives it that extra pop. But not only does it give it that extra pop, it allows you to do multiple things with it. So if say for instance like those whisk, if you saw an example of it had the little hole above it, so not only is it can whisk and it's stainless steel and dishwasher safe and all this stuff, but it also, if you don't have a space for it to put inside of like a container, you can hang it on your wall if you have a small kitchen. Like it not only able to be multi-used inside of like when you're making dishes, but it's multi-used in your kitchen, the way you decorate your kitchen.
Now, that's a pretty important point that you bring up. And I'm kind of glad that you mentioned that aspect of it too, because I've lived in like studio apartments and smaller spaces. And I have to say that is true. Like when I've had my cookware out, I do like it to look nice when I found pieces. And I remember, I'm not going to say where I got it from, but the space that I got it from, I bought it and it was this real pretty gold, because that's what the kind of the look I was going for, like golds and metallics and stuff in my kitchen. And unfortunately, it did not work well though. So it was cute. It was pretty to look at, but it was almost like doll cookware, like you can't use it. Yeah. So I love the fact that your cookware is also very functional. So mom, does your mom have a lot of feedback too, or do you guys test things out when you're coming up with these creative ideas to make sure, like, all right, girl, this is cute, but let's make sure that it worked too?
Yeah, she's been asking me. She said she has some. My aunt has ordered some. Her friends have ordered some. Everyone's giving me the tea on my stuff. They're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Yeah, this is so nice." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." My mom's telling me I just have some new inventory just came in. And she's like, "Okay, you don't have to mail me some of that because I can put it on my vlog." Because she has her own YouTube vlog.
Go ahead, vlog. Okay.
Yes. Like, I can put it on there and put your website on there. Rachel, send it to me. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I love it. I love it. And so I have to show. So, show and tell time. I got to show y'all these other two pieces that, again, really just kind of caught my eye as I was late night messing on the internet, which is something that I do most often. So this.
Yes.
This wonderful little set here, which is something, again, I've seen before, but only in like the stainless steel silver color. Okay. So yeah, because stainless steel is like the metal. The silver is the color. I think oftentimes we get that confused, like, oh, it's a stainless steel refrigerator, and then we see silver and we're like, oh, okay, that's what it's called. But these items are these also stainless steel material?
Yes. So they are dipped in a cylinder based color. So they customize the color depending on what I want on my needs. So that's the rainbow. That's also the rainbow red, and the base of it is stainless steel. So it's chip free, fish free. It does, yeah. And I'm working on getting a NSF certification so that catering businesses and chef companies, people who work in the restaurant industry, food industry, are able to use that so that they can serve with them to give them a little flavor and trendiness to their company.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to that in a minute, but there's another set that I gotta take a look at. We saw the whisk, we saw the rolling pins. I told y'all these cute little numbers here. So what are we looking at here?
So those are they come in 3 different shapes. Those are the baking dishes, and they come in 3 different colors, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the peach, the lime green, and blue. And I know it's a dark green too, like a grass green color.
Oh, like
all have porcelain handles, so it's heat resistant. And it's non-stick. And they come in 3 different shapes. They come in square, rectangle, and oval.
Oval. Okay, time out. So y'all who are tuning in, you can see that these items are top quality. I feel like we're doing a QVC commercial, like quite honestly. Like you want to go to QVC and be like, tell us about this, and feel like I should be touching it. But I'm super excited about it because I mean, these make amazing housewarming gifts, wedding gifts, I love you gifts, gifts for yourself. If you are remodeling and renovating your kitchen, you're just like, I just want some fun things. It doesn't even matter like what color scheme you're going with your kitchen. These items really are timeless. And so again, there's so many different colors, even some neutrals, but that pop, like you saw the gold porcelain handles. You don't have nothing like that in your kitchen. And even if you do, it is not made by the Kitchen-nista, and it's absolutely space in your kitchen to diversify your kitchen equipment. Okay. So this is something really important that we want to lift up. So if you have not had a chance, I'm just going to drop this Instagram link in here so that y'all can go and take a look at it. Take a look at some of the items that she has. Yes, you can go to the website. Obviously, we want you to go to the website. We want you to patronize. As we always say here, support looks a few different ways. It's liking and sharing, like this video and her content and what she's doing. And it's also patronizing. We're going to go on there and absolutely find some items that we can, burn with. Because one of the things that I also have to ask as it relates to the cookware, like especially like the little dishes. So they're good for the oven, but it looks like, and I mentioned this to you before, you could take it right out the oven and like sit it on the table, on a little trivet, of course, but it can go from oven to table, right? So for those of us who know the struggle of like cooking, and then you trying to like make something look nicer, so you take it out that pot or that little pan and you put it in something else, but now you got two dishes. With these, you can literally, because it's so appealing, because it's so captivating, you can literally take it out the oven and put it right on the table.
Yeah, that's mainly how majority of the stuff is. And then like if you're worried about it burning your countertops, depending on the countertop you have, or the glass table you may have, like me, there's like the heat resistant silicone gloves where they're multi-use. You use them to cool off the pot. So if you buy one of our pots, you put it on the glove, it'll cool it off. You use the pot holder and the oven mitt. It's all 3 in 1.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
One of our hot selling items right now.
Oh my gosh. So it's like a oven mitt and okay, say it again. What does it do? It's an oven mitt.
The oven mitt, like a pot cooler, it cools off your pot like rice or your baking.
You did say that.
And then a pot holder, a pot cooler, or an oven mitt.
Got it. Okay. And you did say that. You did say that all of your items are multi-use, multi-purpose, if you will. So you have a few different options. Okay. Well, I can tell you one thing. I've definitely learned a lot about my needs as well as my wants and how to kind of satisfy both, because I need to get some better options for cookware and I want to get some better options for cookware. So now, in addition to this, now your mom was the caterer. However, you, of course, have had experience in the kitchen. So what piece of advice would you have for somebody like me who's not really big on cooking, especially for the moms? We talk to a lot of Coco moms out there, Coco aunties out there, Coco god moms out there who are trying to balance cooking for multiple persons. So what sort of advice or what recipe or tip would you have for a mom who's not really big into cooking, that says, I'm not too big on that, but wants to make something, home cooked?
So I've heard that saying before. I've heard it 10 million times. Every time I go to an event to sell my products, or I go to someone, they're like, oh, my husband is not a cook. I mean, I'm not a cook, but my husband's a great cook, or my wife's a great cook, or my family member is a baker or a chef. That's fine. If you don't know how to cook or you want to learn how to cook, that's why I am creating a recipe section on my website. It's going to be a whole new tab where it's recipes from A to Z of what you need. If you don't have our products, but you still, you really want to work this, like do the recipe, that's fine. The recipe's there. It's free. It don't cost. But I would suggest that you get our products so everything could turn out just like the photos on that recipe blog.
Oh, that is right on time, right up my alley. I like when you take the thought out of things. I am all about reducing decision fatigue. So if I can use a recipe book and then it also had the cookware to kind of support it, like you said, because sometimes that's true. You be looking at those recipes and those pictures, and they don't always come out the same. And absent of you totally missing like a step in the recipe, sometimes it may be the cookware that you're using versus what was used in that recipe. So I think that's great that you actually kind of are taking some of the thought out of it.
Yeah.
So I love it. I love everything about what you're doing. One of the last things that I have to ask as we wrap up this conversation for the day, and any final words that you have, please feel free to share. But we always ask people that come on, Coco moms, Coco dads, Coco queens, Coco kings. We always ask them, what is your Coco king, queen, mom, dad superpower? And so what that means is, like, as you can see, in my name, it was the Alexia, your Coco mom evolved. So I always say my Coco mom superpower is to help people reach their maximum potential, to go from A to B, to realize the gifts that God has given them and help them translate and monetize and etc. So that's kind of how I define it. One of our moms who's on vacation, Anika, our healing Coco mom, she's a licensed social worker. She does counseling and therapy. So her superpower, she would say, is being able to help people unlock the gifts that they have inside of them and being able to heal and get to a space of peace and tranquility. So what would you say is your Coco Queen superpower?
An inspire and motivator, self-motivator. And I motivate people to push them to their limits. I do this unintentionally. It's just a natural gift. So
Wow. And yeah.
yeah.
Keep going with that. So that is your natural gift. Keep going.
Yeah. And so yep, that's how I do it. I inspire my family and friends. They see what I'm doing. They're like, oh, I want to Ray, okay, can you help me with this? Okay, can you help me with this? I'm like the information center for them.
Yes,
I'm like, I
come
got all
on,
the
little small business hub, little small info center. It's like an encyclopedia.
yeah, basically, right in an appendix, right in the back. Just tell me what you want. I'll look for it for you.
I love that. To inspire and motivate is your Coco Queen superpower. Well, Rachel, I got to tell you, you have inspired and motivated me. So you're right. It absolutely 100% is a natural gift for you. We are cultivating a Coco community here, y'all. As you know, it is all about how we can educate, engage, and empower. We say it all the time as we have these different guests on who are blessing us in all these many ways with their gifts. Rachel is no different. So she has now introduced us to some beautiful cookware that will kitchenware, I should say, from baking to the utensils needed to oven mitts, and they're all multi-purpose. And again, it's a great way for you to feel good too about the space that you're cooking in. How many of us know that just like clothes, just like our hair, just like our skin, we want to feel good in our kitchens too. And again, especially when you're trying to balance all the things, it is going to be impossible for you to have a hot girl summer, hot girl winter, hot girl spring or fall if you don't make sure you feel complete. And that includes your kitchen. So thank you so much, Rachel, for coming on. Make sure y'all keep up with her. Go and follow Rachel at Kitchen_nista on IG. Make sure you go to the website, which is not the underscore, the hyphen, the one that looks like the minus sign, nista.com. Make sure you keep in touch with everything that she's doing. Rachel, any final words you just want to give as we close out for the day?
Hey everyone. All right. So my closing statement is pure quality at its best. We have it. If you need it, Kitchen-nista. You can check us out at www.kitchennista.com. And you can email us if you have any questions at info@kitchen-nista.com. Make sure you check us out.
Whoop, whoop. Thank you so much to all the hot girls, hot guys out there that had a great summer as we wrap up today. Don't forget, we're back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's Black Breastfeeding Week, so we're doing more work there. So you see that already for our breastfeeding moms and people and those who support. Again, you want to make sure that your kitchen supports your happiness and your wealth just as much as anything else in your family. You know that you can follow us on Coco Life at cocolife.black on Instagram, on Facebook. That is even our website name, www.cocolife.black. All right. On YouTube, we are Coco Life DOT Black. We are so happy to have been here with you today. You all be blessed and have a great rest of your night. See y'all. The next day, let me try to vote. Hey, kiss me in the pros. Hey, it go down on that brown. Now we going both ways. I can read your mind, gotta say that. Should I take